What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Asia session stream. I hope you guys are doing great. I am doing absolutely amazing. Today, I ended up taking one trade on my evals that went very well, and then after that, I took another trade with you guys on another set of evals that ended up being a super small loss of 400. So overall, a pretty good day, but I would say the market is definitely very choppy, especially within the PM session. A lot of big accumulation phases before seeing some trends. So definitely we're seeing some better price action during the Asia session rather than here, rather than during the trading floor with Joey. So we're not too blessed with the price action during the PM session, but here we are. So how did you guys do today, though? Start the stream with 31 pull-ups. Oh shit. Chat, you gotta give it to me though. 30 pull-ups? Come on. 30 pull-ups? We have to talk about this. What's up, guys? What's up? All right. So let me talk about what I'm currently seeing on the chart. Where do I think price will most likely expand to? We had the bias right yesterday with the Asia session. So we were talking about the fact that we did not want to trade the 6 p.m. candle. We really wanted to wait for price to show us a lot of aggression to scalp the move back towards this gap right here. And we ended up trying a scalp right below 84 here, which resulted in a break even. But this candle ended up, being so aggressive back to the gap, which after, I would say, the London session opened, we had a pretty big move, re-swept that daily high, came all the way back down again during the New York session, and then all the way back up. So I would say I was a little bit thrown off with this candle closure and not seeing any follow through within the New York session. Usually we see that at least that 402 low being swept before actually going up. So I was definitely surprised to see that. A lot of chop on the hourly chart, but this will give us a lot of good opportunities for scalps and the prediction of the next candle closure. So currently on this daily chart, if we're looking at this daily purely from wicks to the damage, bodies tell the story framework, then we can see that we are bullish and we would aim potentially for that daily gap. Okay, this gap here above us is still unfilled and we are breaking very strongly, creating bullish structure. So bullish, a bullish breaker block here towards that unfilled gap. So for me, if I was just looking at a 1 minute chart, okay, I would 100% buy the next candle and I would never try to sell it, especially before this high gets taken out. Okay, of course we could see a move down before to feel that breaker to then move up, but I would never try to predict it. Okay, so for me, we could have, there's two things that can happen. Either we reverse from this high being swept and we don't go back to the gap, or we just push up very aggressively and we close bullish on the next day. So this is pretty much my framework on the daily. So I am aiming for the previous daily high. If I go on this hourly chart, the best thing that could happen is the 6 p.m. 1 hour candle to be a fake out. So to drive us back down, break structure to the downside, trap sellers, and then the buyers would step in at 7 p.m. So from 7 to 7:59 would push up towards our draw, and then we try to take the long at 8 p.m. to see that high and potentially that unfilled gap right above us. So this is my game plan. Everything that I want to see within this next few hours. And yeah, so how did you guys do today? Let's run a poll. Okay, we already are running the poll. So yeah, 59% of people green, 24% of people red, and 16% of people break even. How is that possible? Everyone's green here. I need your signals, chat. I definitely need your signal. Yo. Okay. Okay. You guys are goated. All right. So I'm gonna come back in 30 seconds. And after that, we'll start running the giveaways. I want to start requesting the like goals, I would say not at 8 p.m. because a lot of people are joining and leaving without putting in their likes. So yeah, and also we just released a video with Joey, so called 22 years old, 1,000 to 70,856 with one setup. So it's one of the new, let's say the new video type content, which is called the audit that Joey is currently running. So I will ask you guys to definitely smash the thumbs up on that video for in exchange of some accounts. Okay, so let's see here. My target is definitely this daily high. If we can see a move up, actually even at 6 p.m. I would be down to long 100%, but I'm coming back. Okay. All right, chat. I'm back. Okay. Let me take a look at the chat here. Okay, so the first live goal will be 250 likes. All right, on this Asia stream, and then I will do a pretty good giveaway though for like requesting a like goal within the new video. So get a 300k. Okay, guys, you need to let me know if that's true. With the three 300Ks, you can have up to 8 accounts. When I saw this, I was like, am I tripping? So you can have up to 8 accounts, right? Or am I the one tripping? With the V2 only? Okay. Bro is doing another set of pull-ups. No, bro. If I did that, I would not be able to speak for like at least 5 minutes. Which happened yesterday, by the way. Yesterday I was lagging, which was pretty much unfortunate. It was unfortunate, but we could redo the pull-ups. I'm telling you, we could redo them easily. Do you guys want me to do a... You guys want me to redo them? Because people said I did 29. Yeah, okay. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do... If we reach a like goal, you guys can ask me to do whatever, like either pull-ups, push-ups. You can do whatever, and then I'll try to max it out. That would be cool. For like a little 5-10 minutes within the session. That would be cool. All right. So if you guys want me to do the pull-ups again, we'll have to reach at least bare minimum 500 legs. 500 legs. Great video. Thank you so much. Yeah, it was I listened to that video again, and yeah, it was very good. It was very good. Bromos, I'm gonna get a 300K. Let's go, Mexican. Bro wants that big payout, big boy account. Come on, brother. Come on, boy. When does Asia session open? The new daily candle opened up right here, which is the reason why we're trading back to that daily high, or we're looking for a trade in the first place. But the Tokyo opens at 8 p.m. East, so yeah. Does he cook or is he trash? Are you talking about food or trading? Because if it's food, I am trash. The new 300K accounts are amazing. Brett just updated the drawdown today. Let's go. Yeah, I saw. Okay, so let's talk about the new 300K accounts. Let me talk about them. Let me just share the picture here on Discord so I have it, and then this. So boom, then boom. Then I'll share my screen. I'll share my screen right now. So I'll go on Discord right here. I'll go on this conversation right here, and I'll do this. Okay. So this is the new account, 300K Tradeify Forge. That is sick. I really like that Forge thing that they did. It's cool. A very good name also. So new evaluation rules. Okay, the profit target is 14,000. Okay, so you have a 14,000 profit target. You have a max loss limit end of day of 8,000. A consistency rule of 40% within the eval. A daily loss limit of 4,000. This is really good. And you have access to 16 minis. So it's 40%, meaning that, okay, so let's divide 14,000 divided by 0.4. No, times, I'm so dumb. Times 0.4. 5,600. So you cannot make more than 5,600 in a day with a $4,000 daily loss limit. This is pretty much almost a one-to-one. This is pretty good. Okay, so if you go like for heavier trades, let's say anywhere from 3 to 5,000, try to pass it quicker. I don't think passing it quick is the play though, knowing that it will sell out. Yeah, I think doing it like going for more consistent base hits of like 2,000, 3,000 to pass it, and then once you have it, you're good. Because the max payout is still 10K, which is crazy on the flex. Have access to 16 minis, so you can choose either the daily or the flex. With the daily, you have a max payout of $4,000 per accounts, a daily loss limit of 3,000, a max loss limit end of day of 6,000, and you have the scaling plan for the mini. So I don't know exactly how much you start with. Probably 5, if I would guess. Um, then here on the flex, $10,000 for the max payout. God damn. $4,000 daily loss limit, $8,000 max loss limit. Okay. Oh my God, this is such a good account. And then just to know that if you buy those 3, you can, and you already have 5 accounts, you can have up to 8. So this is crazy, absolutely crazy. I love the era that we're currently entering with props, which is a lot of new things, a lot of I would say a lot of hype currently. I would say new account types that will sell out too, so you need to be quick on your feet or you're gonna feel the FOMO after. And those accounts, they're big boy accounts that could pay you up very well if you know how to trade. So of course it is not for everyone. I don't think those kind of accounts are the best for if you're a beginner, but if you're someone who's advanced or who wants a little challenge, I think this could be treated exactly like a live account, because once you have that max payout of 10,000, you already built such a big buffer. It's like, it's pretty much it's an insane deal for sure. For 349, with what I saw from the competition online, this is a better plan. This is by far a better plan in terms of how much money it costs and the max payout. And yeah, so let me know what you guys think. But we went over the new account type, which is the 300k select V2 by Tradeify Forge, limited amount. So make sure to be quick, because those accounts sold out in what, probably like 24 hours last time. So yeah, yep. So let me know what you guys think right now in the chat. But I think this is just insane. Did you buy one? Probably gonna buy 3, knowing that I can have up to 8 accounts. So it just got announced like I think 2 hours ago. So what are you looking for? I'm looking to see a move back towards that daily high. So looking to see if we can have a lot of aggression above higher time frame candles opening prices, and then try to ride with the the buyers. So you said profit target to drawdown ratio is horrible, making 14k and only 6k drawdown. It is 8k drawdown on the new accounts. So 14k profit target, 6, and now you have 8k drawdown, but with a 4k daily loss limit. Here you're saying not so good. I can get this account with 10k drawdown and take it 10k profit target. I can hold it overnight. It is CFDs. Okay, let me tell you one thing. You're never gonna see any accounts that cost 349 being better than this one. Let me tell you this. Even if you go on CFDs, those accounts are worth 800, 900, 1,000, 1,200. You got to take into account the pricing. You know, firms need to survive. There is what we call a trade-off when you trade prop firms. There is rules. If you don't like the account, you just don't buy it. But in my opinion, it is absolutely fair. It is fair with what we have in the market. No one is talking shit about this account right now at all. So no, if you want to compare that to CFDs, these are not the same prices, my brother. And second thing, good luck with the CFDs, bro, because it is not the same trust that I have towards CFDs than futures prop firms, unfortunately. You will rarely see denied payouts within this space overall currently within the futures prop firm. So I'm talking good about not just Tradeify, but overall the space, which is a good thing, where the CFD is pretty much a like we would need like a good breather. Like we would need something to happen so we know there's not going to be any denied payouts on CFDs, which I'm still waiting for. You know, so yeah, I don't have the same trust currently. Let me know what you think about, if you can say anything about what I just said. I am always open to debate, of course, but for me, it's fair. Second, futures, the perk about futures prop firms in general is that there's low pricings. There's low pricings, but it's of course harder to request the payout. Is it really harder to request the payout if you don't have a two-stage evaluation? If we really think about it, no. So like, if you think CFDs are better because you have more drawdown, but you need to pass a two-stage evaluation, and then you cannot enter with the risk that you want because you're gonna get denied. Your payout's gonna get denied. This, that. I'm telling you, I've been in the space since 2022, and at this point currently, it's not even comparable. It is not. It is just not. Unbiased opinion. Yes, what I say is if you are really good, it's a great option. But if you are not consistent, I think it's too much. I think you're right. I think you're right. It is pretty much for the people who want to have a a little challenge and are a little bit more advanced, in my opinion. Visual, I know them, but in terms of, again, denied payouts and in terms of the rules that you need to obey to request the payout, it's not comparable. You can trade. The only rule Tradeify has is you need to hold your trades for more than 10 seconds, and you cannot hedge. So meaning that you cannot go short on an account and buy on the other account. These are the two rules. If you want to scalp, you scalp. If you want to DCA, you DCA. If you want to risk the entirety of your account, you can risk the entirety of your account. If you want to do this, you do this. Which I swear to God, you can't do that on the firm that you're talking to me about. I know it. I know it. You just can't. How do I get my consistency down so I get my payout? I met my price target, but need to meet the 20% consistency. You need to make more money. So you calculate your biggest winning day and you divide that by 0.2, and now you find your new profit target. So yeah. So guys, we're gonna do two things today. Okay, we're gonna be giving away many accounts for sure, as usual, but also if you guys want me to do again 30 pull-ups on stream without any lags, okay, I would need you guys to smash the thumbs up and reach 500 likes. So it will be a part 2, okay, because some people yesterday said no. I am feeling pretty sore though from yesterday. Damn, I feel it. My traps are killing me right now. Don't do it, heal first. I think I'm good. I think I'm good. If I really felt like I could not do them, I'm still doubting you. I will give you this though. I saw some people hating on the form. I would say for the first 25, they were good, and then there was, of course, hella swinging at the end, which you still gotta respect it, but doing them straight up like this is kind of crazy. Like 30 perfect pull-ups is almost impossible. Even if you go check like the Guinness World Record of pull-ups, I think it's like 10,000 or something like this, but not, of course, not back to back, like they're taking breaks within like a 24-hour span. But go check their form. They're swinging like this, they're like this, and it counts, which is crazy. So here we're seeing this hourly candle sweeping the low within that previous order block here at 612. And if we can push up very aggressively above 675, I will be longing the daily high 1,000%. I will be longing that daily high with my life, with me life. Don't do back-to-back days. That would be fun though. All right, chat. How many likes do we have currently? 142. 250 is the first cycle. All right. And wait, we're Thursday. Is there a game night tonight? Okay, yeah, there's a game night because usually it's on Wednesdays, but bro, I'm waiting for these guys to call me for Rainbow Six Siege, bro. But they are only playing games with but the games that they play are super fun. But you know what? One thing with me is I hate playing new games, and I just hate playing new games and having to discover the map and like, I don't know. I'm the type of sweaty ass gamer though. How much do you weight? I weight 155. I don't know which game they're playing. Let me check because I'm on their channel. TTV Gaming. Bro, that conversation has 75 messages. Petition for R6 game nights. I agree. R6 for, or you guys should see me play Fortnite. You guys would be tweaking. I challenge anyone here in this chat for a wager against 5. If you beat me, I'll literally give you 5 150k lightning thunder accounts. I swear to God, from my own pocket. That's how that's how confident I am. No one here in this chat can beat me. Oh God. Amos right now, run it. Beavis just you for a night, bro. You guys are not prepared, bro. You guys won't do shit. We can't start the game night premature. Well, you know one thing we can do is start the game night prematurely though. It's like I take my trade at 8 and then I log into Fortnite. I crank some 90s from like 8:15 to like 8:30. And then we'll do it. All right, so we have my brother, Afiz. Let's bring him in. What's up, brother? How you doing?
Going. I'm sorry I missed our Tuesday segment.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Don't worry.
I had a fire alarm in my building. I swear. I think the same guy in my building lets off this fire alarm probably once a month or twice a month.
Oh yeah.
I think our building, it's a bit older with the ventilation that they have. So when he cooks, every single time the fire alarm goes off, because it's always the guy on 8th floor, I'm on 10th floor, and it's always him who's like, yeah, sorry guys, it was me again.
Damn. But okay.
The whole process, the whole fire department's got to come. They got to like inspect all the yeah, it's trash.
Yeah.
I'm moving on Sunday, so it shouldn't happen again.
Okay, so you're leaving finally. Okay.
Yeah, first of the
And
month I'm moving out. Yeah, this place.
what's your new place?
I'm getting another place in Victoria, which is actually on Vancouver Island, which is closer to my family, so it'll be nice.
Okay.
I spent the summer in the city, and now I'm going, like, I guess, closer back to home because I want to go on a couple trips I told you in the fall, and I got to
Yeah.
unload my dog to my parents.
Damn,
So
okay.
when they're closer, it's easier.
Cool. Did you
Yeah.
take any trades today?
I traded London, actually. It was my biggest trade of the year so far. It was like $13.
Damn.
It was
Okay.
So I'm done. My week's done for sure at this point in time. But yeah, that was definitely a larger trade than I expected it to be. So
You know that trade? Okay. Did you take the trade at like 2 a.m. or like 2?
it was actually
2:30?
around 3:30 a.m. I can show it to
3:30.
you.
Yeah. Let me
This will
see.
probably go down as my biggest trade of the year. It just coincidental that it worked out like this, and it just expanded so aggressively. So I'm sharing my screen. Let's see if you can see it.
Yeah, walk us through what you took.
Sure, yeah. Okay, so let's take a look at this. So the first thing to note, as always, is that we are really just consolidating on this daily range. So it was actually, let me show you where this was positioned. It was last night. So let's use the replay function. It was in this Thursday candle. So you can see in here, on the daily chart, if we look at the weekly, like we talked about last week, we're still inside this weekly gap, right? And we have this rather large wick that takes out the previous week low. So once NASDAQ came into this previous week low and formed this reversal, you can see it's quite spaced out with the Dow Jones, right? Which is very interesting because, like we talked about before, Dow Jones was the weaker asset, right? It made this very deep retracement. And now look at how it opens this week. No, it opens much higher in the range. But this was immediately me saying and thinking, well, this could form the low of the week potentially, this divergence on these assets, because again, we have the weaker asset becoming much stronger in this weekly candle. So that was kind of the framework, and I really wanted to see expansion this week. Now, as you can see, we really didn't expand. So I'm going to mark out weekly open for you. If you look at the weekly open here, what you can see price did on Monday at our weekly open was we open high, and we don't open high into anything relevant, as you can see. So this weekly open in here is not a relevant formation for the high of the week. I don't care that there's SMT between the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ, for example, because as you can see, this swing point is the relevant daily level on Dow. We can mark that out. And then for NASDAQ, it's this gap, right? This daily gap. So when the price opens high like this, forming this divergence, I anticipate this to be the low of the week. As you can see on Tuesday, I wanted to trade expansion. We really were high resistance. If you zoom into this, I took a trade on Tuesday as well, but you can see we just consolidated for the most part. So coming into, today's session, Wednesday, Thursday, I was quite bullish. Now, as you can see on Wednesday, near the end of the day, we finally formed that swing point closure. So you can see this candle in here doesn't reverse, not a C2, right? This candle in here is an inside bar. We know that inside bars are consolidation. Now, only on Wednesday's candle closure do we finally close above the opening price of this down close candle, which gives us our mechanical CSD, right? So this is that weekly SMT, which we were expecting to see higher prices from. And then after that weekly SMT, we finally formed that bullish closure on Wednesday. So now on Thursday, I'm very one-sided. I want all these highs to be taken because look, all assets now have, come in, formed this V shape, even though it was quite choppy, very high resistance. And now we're looking for higher prices for the rest of the week. So you can see Thursday is very interesting because we open up with this. I'll get rid of the SIST. We open up with this new day opening gap. So immediately I'm thinking, well, price is showing me we're expanding now. This is the new day opening gap. So I want to be long, right, in this market towards this daily gap. That's my draw on liquidity. And I have some bullish opening, right, of the market at 6 p.m. to confirm that. We flipped the weekly open, finally we're getting expansion away from the low. So this is the day where I'm really thinking I can like capitalize on expansion in the market. And that's why I ended up taking a pretty large trade, is because I held for higher time frame objectives, because everything was starting to align finally, as opposed to these inside bars we've been having, right? Inside bar in here, really choppy day on Wednesday. If you've traded as well, I'm sure you know. So how do I approach trading this session? Well, we look at the daily open right here, 1800, and we go down to the 4-hour chart. And I'm just going to show you one chart for now. So as you can see here, price opens up with this gap, and I know that I don't want to long, right, until we come back in and we rebalance part of this gap and form a swing point. So you can see in here, I'm not longing 1800. I'm allowing 1800 to print this new day opening gap, which is also now a 4-hour fair value gap. Now, what does price do? You're going to see. At 2 a.m., we have a universal model, which we talked about in our last stream segment. That universal model is internal range liquidity to external range liquidity, like this. So this becomes an opportunity for me to trade towards this higher time frame objective. This is the draw on liquidity. And this is the lower time frame objective, which is the internal model high. What do I mean by internal model high? I simply mean that if we have a 4-hour internal range of liquidity to external range of liquidity, this exists as a failure swing to the higher time frame draw. This is like an A+ setup, okay? So now I'm looking to frame this, and 2 a.m. is really when I get that swing point. And you can see just how nice this trade is when we go down to the entry time frame as to why I was able to get involved. So I know this is likely to form the low of day, right? We have this swing point formed right here. This is your sell side run. And the thing that I like about this a lot, Amos, is that we start to expand back towards the highs, okay? That's really what indicates to me that we're going to go higher. Now, by the time the London session opens at 2 a.m., I already have this V shape off the lows, right? Look at all assets V-shaping back into the range. All I need is a gap now, right? Like I told you last time, we're going to be waiting for that simple sequence, a gap, an SMT in the gap, and we're going to go long. It becomes very, very like one-sided because we have our invalidations from the higher time frame. We wait for our gap. As you can see, we printed 30-minute gap. Now look at this. Remember what we said about that idea of assets wanting to catch up and break highs? I'm going to show you something very interesting, which is what makes this trade very high probability. You see how Dow here has come into this weekly high, and really, it hasn't been able to expand through that high at all. What do? We took out the high. This is the same high, by the way. So this high right here, I can mark this out. These are the same daily highs. We came into this high. We couldn't expand past it. We tried again. We failed. Then we reversed off of the previous day high. This is all high resistance in here. But interestingly enough, we see NASDAQ becoming much stronger, even though it's very far away from that high. That is a strength switch. So again, that tells me that while the Dow consolidates, because it can't expand through the high, NASDAQ can catch up and break that high. That's the whole point of the model, right? Is to trade the lagging asset, which is where we get these really, really tight entries, you could say. So I already have all the narrative aligning, and this in here is telling me something, a story as well. While this asset has anything to trade into, like let's ask ourselves. We're inside this gap right now. Does this asset have anything really relevant to trade into? If I was to ask you that, you'd probably say, well, the next relevant level is going to be maybe these lows down here. So we have to ask ourselves, if this asset is going to want to maybe consolidate, stay inside of this range that you're right here, okay? And this asset wants to come in and take out the highs, we need to see some sort of divergence, either at first the low or the high. So if this asset wants to come lower, asset wants to go higher, and they're decoupled, we're going to wait for one of these, right, divergences. Now, based on this V shape I'm seeing, I know that this asset is very likely, look how it's closing, expansion candle, right? It's closing back up into this range. Look at the failure swing we have just to this side. I know that it's more likely to see this asset run out the high before YM goes down to this low. So we have this consolidation, like I talked about in my last stream. We're waiting for NASDAQ to run out the high, and then we can trade lower, okay? So this is where we get that SMT sequence in the gap. It looks like this. So we have 330, open low, retest the daily open, but more importantly, we have the gap. Looks like this. So there is your SMT in the gap, which is also going to be a top line. A two-stage PSP, right? So this is a down close candle here, and this is a up close candle here. And for me, I got pretty cheeky with my entry because I was very one-sided. So I've thought all week I've pretty much taken no trades, right? We've been consolidating every single New York session. This is where I'm going to get that move. So I got pretty cheeky, and I actually longed. I'll show you. I actually longed the first 1 minute closure as a rejection candle back in the range. So this would be the mechanical entry. Some of my students took this one right here, this CSD. All right, there you go. I actually just longed 505.25 right here. Okay, put my stop loss at the true invalidation, and then I targeted just this high. I didn't even target the extended high, so you can see there's the buy side up here. I just targeted the failure swing, like this. Okay, and that was like a 14R trade or whatever. And you can see it smacks that, and it actually keeps going. So the part of me obviously feels that FOMO because I had a really insane entry, but it doesn't matter. This is nice to see, of course, but this is really where I took my trade off. I took it all off here. And this secured me like a max payout on every single firm, pretty much. So I'll be requesting that tomorrow. I just need one more consistency day because I'm on 4 days. So that was essentially my whole trading week in one trade. And yeah, that was definitely not the norm. I don't think usually my trades are going to be more than 3 to 4R. It just happened in this case that everything lined up kind of perfectly. And then if you want to look at something interesting, which is I think is even cooler than the trade itself, is there is really a lot to be said about the logic, because look, we take out this high, we immediately reverse from the high. Look how we're failing to expand through the high. And now look at Dow. Look at when Dow starts to expand towards the low. Right when we take out that high, right? You can see it. And now look at this. Well, how do we know, Fees, that this is going to actually hit the low? Well, we're seeing the same thing. Look at this. This asset's so much stronger, right? Okay, so that's weird. Why is it stronger going all the way to the highs and then forming this bearish candle, while YM is clearly weaker and forming this bullish candle? Well, what do you think? What are we forming right here? A gap. And look how this candle's closing, Amos. It's closing as an expansion candle. So we're going to get another gap fill. And I'm kicking myself for not taking YM as well, because that is also A+. That gap fill in this 30-minute gap would have been an amazing trade as well. You can see, look at this. Come on. This shit makes me so excited. Look at it. It's the exact same trade on the other side of the market. It's the exact same logic. Look, strength switch PSP, weaker, stronger asset becoming weaker, SMT fill. This is the highest probability continuation sequence. This is a quote unquote ideal sequence, which I can show you. Since I may as well just show you now that I'm here. Look at this. Look at this slide. I totally nerd out on this stuff if you can't tell already. It like makes me so like happy to see this shit deliver, man. Look at this. This is like I'm so excited. For me to see this stuff print, man, in real markets is literally why I got into trading, because it is the coolest shit in the world. Come on, man. Look at this shit. Come on, man. Look, what is the ideal sequence? It is a strength switch PSP and a SMT fill. Well, that's it right there. There's your ideal sequence. Look, that's the bullish case. Look at this screenshot right here. And then we're going to look at NASDAQ delivering the highs. Look, how do we get to the highs? We get an ideal sequence. We get an ideal sequence. Look, right there. That exact mechanism is how we get this SMT break, okay? That's when the leading asset switches strengths and the lagging asset catches up. Cool. Now we got that SMT break. How are we forming the reversal? Well, we're getting another ideal sequence where this once weaker asset becomes momentarily stronger, forms a strength switch PSP, forms an SMT fill. And look at the delivery away from this. Look, SMT right here. Look at the delivery away from this. Okay. And it's with it's actually with the S&P 500 too. That's why we use 3 assets. So you can see in here, NASDAQ actually runs out that high or puts in relative equal highs. It might be equal highs, but you can see ES is valid as well. We use all 3 assets. So we get that sequence, and look at the next candle. It's going to just deliver into that low. Beautiful, right? Towards the low, at least. So the invalidation holds. Look at the invalidation. Until that low is hit with the ideal sequence, we will not come back into this swing point. Okay? So that's like really cool. This would have been a great A+ trade as well. I was just, up till 3 a.m. So I didn't stay up till 5:30 a.m. as well. But man, this is a day I think that goes down for like my model is probably one of the best performing days for the model. If you take both setups within an hour, essentially, look at the RR on this idea, bro. It's like just using the ideal sequence, right? This one idea of SMT fill as a 2-stage PSP, which again sounds complex, but it's really not, right? It just sounds complex. Look at this. Look at the entry text.
When you have like when you have a PSP and you're very confident in the draw, like do you wait for the candle closure?
No. Okay,
or sometimes like you would predict that it would be a PSP, so like you would enter.
That's a really great question. So there is 2 ways to trade a C2 candle for my model. The first is this way. It's where you have first, Amos, you have a PSP. So this in here would be a PSP candle, okay? Now this is going to come into a key level. Let's say this is coming into an external high. And this can or cannot form SMT. I'm going to make sure I'm very deliberate with how I explain this, because I get the question you asked me right there is a question I get asked probably twice a day. So it's a really good question. This level that we come into, there can or cannot be SMT with that. It could look like this with another asset. It doesn't have to. Now, if this is a PSP, that is a first stage Kraken correlation. For a reversal, I need 2. So the only way I can trade that candle 2, right, that forms in here, the next candle that opens, is if we do something like this. Okay. And we run out. We run out this candle's high. Because if we are sweeping out a high that is a SMT level, that in itself is a 2-stage Kraken correlation. So if this forms like that, and there's SMT, this would be an SMT with a correlated asset. I can trade this candle because the PSP here is the first stage Kraken correlation, and the SMT here is the second stage Kraken correlation. Valid C2 reversal. Where I can't trade the reversal candle before it closes is if we have the opposite. So imagine, Amos, we just have this, okay? If we just have an SMT with a correlated asset, that is a 1-stage Kraken correlation at a reversal. I can't trade it. I need to wait for that candle to therefore close as a PSP. Okay. And then what am I going to trade? C3, as it opens into the range and expands lower. So essentially, the simple way to think about it is if we form SMT with a PSP candle, I can trade the C2. If we do not form SMT with the PSP candle, but a PSP closes after the SMT, I wait for C3. Now, the question you asked is a bit more complex, which is, can you ever pre-fire the PSP? And the answer to that is yes. In fact, I regularly do. I do all the time, but that has to do with phase of price, which is a completely different conversation. So sometimes you can anticipate when one candle will close like this, and the other candle will close like this as a opposing, like a black and an up close candle and a down close candle. Now that is far more complex, and I never teach my students to do that. But of course, in the real, one of my favorite quotes in trading is textbook trades only appear in textbooks, because sometimes you want to get involved before this PSP closes, obviously.
Damn. That's a tough line.
That comes down to the lower time frame phase of price, which is why I spend a lot of time in my model focusing on not just cracks and correlation, but also phases of price. Because every time you see a crack and correlation candle like a PSP, that means one candle is doing, one phase of price, accumulating or expanding, and the other is doing a different phase of price, i.e. reversing. So you can pre-fire these. But like, just to make things really clear, because that might have been confusing for some people, look at the examples that I talked to you about today. The trade I took yesterday. It's what? You see how this here, the gap high is a what type of candle? It's a PSP.
Wait. Can you show it again?
So this candle in here, this candle right here, is forming a gap, right?
So because YM closed bearish on that bar, right?
Yes. Yeah. So
Yeah.
this
Okay.
little the other asset closes as a bearish candle. You can see it right at here. Okay, it's right here.
Okay. Okay. The question I have is, can you use like the PSP just for quick scalps and leave? Or or you would say it's more beneficial for you to wait even more to then have the bigger picture play that aligns to have a better risk reward?
So because price is fractal, a PSP can be utilized on a lower time frame, for example, to confirm a lower time frame swing. Now, what I will say is that cracks in correlation, the way I've been kind of showing on this channel, are nothing more than swing point confirmations. What do you always need to form a swing point? This is what I really try and emphasize. People kind of learn from me, and then they, like I did when I first start searching for PSPs everywhere. Like for me, I was like, oh, there's a PSP here, a PSP there. Let's just trade all these PSPs. And you lose track of why are we trading this reversal candle almost? What are we really trading? What is really happening here? This is internal, external, right? It's a really simple fair value gap to an external high, a retracement into expansion. We kind of forget about that. The PSP is just a confirmation on the swing point. It allows me to trade C2. Now, this is also paired with stuff like wick sizes, drivers, all sorts of other stuff that are really important that we can forget about when we just look for PSP. So my answer to you is I wouldn't use a PSP to scalp. I wouldn't even use a PSP until you realize where they should form. For example, what do both examples of my PSP form from? Where are both of these PSPs forming from, Amos?
Yep.
Yes. Yeah, and you would be surprised how many times I've told my own students, we don't just take dangling PSPs in the middle of nowhere. Because if they're not forming from key levels, you got to remember a swing point, specifically a reversal candle, requires a key level. You're never going to get a reversal candle without either running a range high, i.e. an external pool of liquidity, or tagging a gap, i.e. an internal range of liquidity. You're not going to get a reversal candle. You might get a continuation candle, i.e. look at this. This is a C2, right? That forms SMT. For NASDAQ, it doesn't look like one, but we use SMT to qualify that as a C2. The next candle is a C3. Now, this candle doesn't need to form its low from a key level. It's in continuation, right? Now, once we get a reversal candle at the high, look at this. This candle here, the highs, is a reversal candle. Do you see that? It comes back in the range after taking out the external high. Now, how do we get continuation? Look at this asset where we traded. This candle in here is not a reversal candle. Oh, it's so good, man. This is a great question you asked. Why is this not a reversal candle? Like, you see this? People are going to pattern trade this as a C2, and they're going to get absolutely smoked. Because even if that's a PSP, which it is, you know what people do? And I've seen it all the time with my own students, bro. What they'll say is like, well, Afiz, the logic is broken because look at this. Look, we have price coming into the previous candle's low and forming a PSP. Does that not mean I should go long now? Hell no, because reversal candles need key levels. Are we ever going to trade away from a failure swing? No, because this candle's low is not a key level. This candle's low is not a key level. This candle's low, a higher time frame swing point. Look, if we come into here, look what we do. Look what YM does today. I mean, it's textbook, brother. Comes in. Oh, now look at this. We have this C2 candle closure with a PSP. So now, could I trade this 4-hour candle, Amos, given the rules I gave you? Because we had to wait for the PSP to close. Could I trade that 4-hour candle?
Okay, repeat that.
So the first stage crack in correlation is with this swing point at the low, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like this. You see the swing low down here on NASDAQ as well? It's this low.
Yeah.
So we have an SMT that looks like this. My question for you, brother, is can we trade this candle when this SMT forms? Can we trade it as a reversal candle on the 4-hour? Before it closes.
Is there a gap to the left?
No, this is the range low.
Yeah, this is a range low.
Pairing of ranges.
I would say the way that I do it, I trade it.
But could I trade it the way I just explained? I need a certain
so you need A gap.
A two-stage. I need a two-stage Kraken correlation at the reversal. Remember I said at the highs and the lows, we need a two-stage Kraken correlation. So the only way
okay, the first stage is what?
the SMT. The
Okay,
SMT
and then the second
is the PSP.
PSP. So, but you do have both, right?
But I have to wait for that 4-hour candle to close because the PSP close, and that's where your question is valid. But Afiz, can you pre-fire that? And the answer,
you can only pre-fire is you can pre-fire it when you're in a gap.
No, we can pre-fire when the lower time frame phase of price is a reversal. So let's zoom in. This is really it's by the way, this is very complex. By the way, this question started off as a very complex question, so don't I'm not trying to like quiz you here. It's actually a really good question. The only way I could pre-fire this, dude, is if I looked into this reversal candle, right? This C2, and what did I see? A V shape. Well, when do I confirm that V shape? Really, at the close, right? At this point in time, this isn't enough of a reversal yet. Look at this time right here is 9:15, okay? So that means that this candle closes in 45 minutes. What am I really worried about? This candle. It could come into this gap and then trade lower, right? Look at the opening price of the 4-hour candle. That's really important. This is the opening price. This is going to be 6 a.m., okay? At this point, I'm not entirely confident we're going to close back above the open and reverse. So I'm going to wait for more confirmation. Say, for example, Amos, at 9:15, we had expanded to maybe here, okay? Maybe we had done this. And it's 9:15, and there's still 45 minutes left in the candle. Then I'm more likely to say the reversal's formed and pre-fire the close. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But in this case, I wait. I wait for the confirmation because the mechanical thing to do. Mechanical means if I had to give you a set of rules to always follow and never use discretion. Mechanical in this case would be you have to wait for this 4-hour to close, and it does close as a PSP. So now what can we trade 10 a.m. as? A C3. Now look at this shit, man. So cool. Sorry for my language. Look at this. This is where it's cool because we're going to look inside of that 4-hour candle and we're going to find something that we can trade higher from. So the invalidation we use for trading a continuation is going to be EQ of this range, okay? From the opening price of this candle to the low. If the next candle forms a wick that is extremely large into this low, right? Maybe it doesn't take out low. It looks like this. That's an invalidation to me. And the reason is because large wick candles don't support expansion. It's also why, Amos, this 4-hour candle was very unlikely to expand past its open. See how large this wick is? That doesn't support a large body. Look, I can prove it to you. Small wick, large body. Small wick, large body. Now look at these larger wick candles. This one here is actually a pretty large wick, but it's probably paired with a driver. Look at the really large wick candles. We find some of them. Like this, right? Large wick, small body. Indecision candle, large wicks on either side. Here's another good example right here. This one here, large wick, it only closes a little bit above its open. This one here, larger wick compared to the body size. So we use this as a filter. Now it's not always going to be true, but you can see, look, large wick, small body, large wick, small body. It's just because there's not enough time left in the candle typically to expand. And this is universally true on all time frames, but we use it as just a soft filter. And what I mean is that I want to look inside of this 6 a.m. candle, brother, and see where the new 10 a.m. candle can form a small wick from. So what do we form wicks from? Gaps and swings. There's only 2 key levels I ever care about in the market, ERL or IRL. So I'm going to go down and drop down into this candle here and see if I can find some sort of gap. Oh, there it is. If that's my invalidation right here, this black line, what is the only level we can form our gap from? Boom, baby, right here. Okay. Nice. Clean, clean, clean. Now I have an invalidation. And look, I'm going to get a 2-stage on the 4-hour. See? You got this candle's closing fairly close to its low. We anticipate that the next candle could potentially take out that low. Now it doesn't, but look what we respect. Open into the gap. Okay? We open into the gap and we have this SMT in the gap. Look. If this candle's low, we get this. Now, interestingly enough, It's not just an SMT in the key level. What is it also? These things tend to form in 2 stages typically, but it's also a P, right? So this is a 2-stage continuation. Do I require that? No. I only require 1 stage of Kraken correlation for any gaps. But this just happens to be a 2-stage, which is fine. And you'll see me take lots of trades like I did yesterday, where there's a 2-stage. Yesterday's example, remember, recall, that the last example we did looked like this. Up here. Right, the last one is a 2-stage, right? We have this PSP candle forming the gap, and then we have an SMT. In this case, it's the exact opposite, right? What do we instead have? We have the SMT forming and then the PSP closing after. It doesn't matter which order it happens in. It's just a 2-stage. All it means is that we're forming a swing point. Remember, we're using a filter on the swing point. Now, what do I want to see on the lower time frame? A V shape, okay? So we're going to zoom into the next candle's open, this candle, and we're going to look for that V-shaped signature. This looks pretty good.
Kill me, bro. Someone said, I'm just gonna keep getting buggies in the Walmart parking lot.
Okay, so I'm probably rambling, but the last thing I want to say, guys, once you have that V-shaped signature confirmed, like in here, you can see we have that swing point confirmed. Now you have this V shape, right? You can now long here, pretty high in the range, but you can still long here, put your stop loss to low, and target the high, right? And you can see, there you go. And you're gonna get another probably sequence in a higher time frame gap, and so on and so forth until price either hits the high or doesn't. I don't know where it is right now. Let's see if YM took out that high. It didn't, right? YM left a failure swing. So you can see we didn't even end up taking out. Oh, sorry, that's not even the right high. My bad. The right high should be here. That high was already taken. Okay. So you can see it wasn't a good enough RR for kind of my model. It wasn't 2R, but that's kind of a valid sequence type of thing. So yeah, that's a little bit of yapping for me. Sorry about that.
Okay, you're good, bro. You know, every time you do those recaps and stuff, it gets really deep, and I think a lot of people benefit a lot from your understanding of the markets. And I think also it is also really deep how you think about things. You already, like, you have a mechanical approach, but you also use discretion to filter out some of the things that would make it a loss if you traded fully mechanically, which I really I would say respect from your end. So I think let us know, chat, if you liked Afiz's recap.
Also let me know if it's just too much yap. I can definitely tone it down.
for sure it is a lot, but I think of the first few sessions will be hard for people to grasp the concepts, but we have the same viewers that joins every time. So for me, I am actually looking forward to see what was your analysis. In the beginning, I would say the first time you joined, I was like, damn, that shit is hard. Those SMTs and stuff, I'm getting lost. But then right now, I understand pretty much everything about your model. The only thing I would say, like, the only thing that truly, we trade very similarly. The only thing that changes between my approach and your approach is the exit and the fact that you're using PSP while I don't. You know what? I use PSP, but I don't use it in the same way as you do. And you
a
can
lot
ask
of traders do, actually, without even knowing.
I use it to not take a trade.
A lot of traders will actually, when like I teach PSPs or like 2-stage PSPs, they'll be like, what I always saw that as? I always saw that as like an indecision candle, because I'm looking at gold and silver, and gold's going higher and silver's going lower. And I'm like, what you call that, I call decoupling. And there's just two different names for the same concepts, right? And you might say, I don't want to get in the market because gold's going higher and silver's going lower. And I'm saying, this is market decoupling. I'm going to wait for a resync. And it's just it's like two sides of the same token, right? Which is why when I'm teaching, I always think that there is I need to do more work, I think, in personally teaching to make the concepts a bit more easy to understand at times. Because at the end of the day, I think it really is simple stuff. It's just about, kind of changing your perspective of how you're viewing the things you're already viewing. And I think that's something I can improve on, low-key, is saying, like, you're probably already seeing it like this. Like, everyone knows what a reversal candle is. Whether you call it a reversal, whether someone calls it an engulf or a pin bar, whether someone calls it a bullish engulfing for a CSD, we call it CSD. Breakout traders call it engulfing candles. Some people call reversal candles pin bars. Some people call them inverse hammers. So like some people call it a support and resistance flip. It's all the same thing. And I really learned over the past like 5 years, I learned that there's every single type of trading system has such intrinsic similarity that the differences between traders is almost always less than people think. The similarities between all models are very, very true. At least all good models that aren't, in my opinion, some models are just like bad. And I'll come on air and I'll say that if you're just using like purely stochastics, I mean you're using lagging oscillators like the EMA and the MACD, and you're not considering anything about price action, order flow, or volume, it'd be very difficult for you to convince me that you can simply wait every time for the 9 and 21 to cross, or for the MACD to do something, or some oscillator to change, and you could consistently make money. Now, you can prove me wrong, and I will gladly swallow that humble pill and say I'm wrong. But if you combine those things with like volume, order flow, footprints, smart money concepts, right? Or in the case of us, what we do is we trade price action, me and Amos. I really do think that you can, skin the cat 1,000 ways plus, and you can definitely make money. Some of the people I look up to most in this industry trade nothing like me whatsoever. And I am like, yeah, I'm blown away with how their analysis is able to scale them to like crazy amounts. Because I feel scared putting on the size they do. And they're like, oh yeah, we got this absorption, there's this big green bubble, and volume stepped up, and it's a pin bar, and I'm gonna go in with 100 minis. And I'm like, you're someone I need to get to that level, hopefully, in my trading career. Because no matter how confident I am, like Amos, yesterday I was so confident, and I still only, put on 1% risk. On a 14-hour trade, I risked 1%. I know some of my mentors in trading, they would see that with their A+ setup, like the way I was so passionate about explaining it to you. They would explain it with their logic and then lay on 30% of their port. And for me, it's like impressive as fuck. I'm like, I need to work towards that.
Someone said, I love how he loves it though. And that's true. You are definitely very, it looks like you're very passionate about what you're doing and the concepts that you're teaching. So props to you, my brother.
Dude, let's go. All right, tell me a bit about your day, your trades. How's your week going? What's new?
Okay, so today I'm actually trying to pass quite a few selects to have to be able to execute my plan, which is entering aggressively, building my buffer, and then taking it slower. So I am currently still passing evals. I took one trade today, a very quick scalp. It's not much to take within this New York AM session. I would say I took a quick short right here at around 1040-ish. Took out my profits exactly at 33 and left.
Nice. You got that low. That's awesome.
Yeah, literally cut the low and left.
Holding for the lows today. In my Discord, I'm like, oh shit, that shit reversed aggressively off that failure swing.
So I took a quick scalp. I also took another one, but with very light size on another eval on the trading floor, which was from 12:30 to 1:30 on Tradeify TV. Ended up being a loss. I wanted to go break even, but price just reversed very aggressively. But let's say overall today, pretty good day for me. And in general, this week it was a great week too.
Yeah, I saw you got back to funded, full allocation.
Yeah.
I was following your Twitter updates. I was like, let's go. After last week, you were like, yeah, I have to go back and get allocation. And I was like, oh, I commented on Twitter post. I'm like, the comeback season is coming, and then literally
comeback season, you know it.
Later, I just see a post for it's like full allocation. I'm like, all right, he did it.
So the thing that I do, which is very different to a lot of people, and I know you're gonna understand my approach, because I always preach the fact that yes, we are traders, but in fact, we are prop firm traders. I consider myself being a prop firm trader, and until I stop trading them, my goal is to be the best prop firm trader in the world. Okay. Yeah. So my approach is all based on not necessarily the markets in general, but also based on the prop firm rules, what's available in the market, and how I can truly maximize the amount of profits that I make with, I would say, the statistics behind how the props work. And basically what I'm doing currently is, let's say I have select accounts, I buy 5 select accounts and I pass them one by one. And my strategy is pretty low risk to reward, so it's a 1-to-1, but doing them one by one with aggressive risk decreases the variance so much, and the likelihood of me having lower than a 50% pass rate is very slim, because of my high win rate.
Yeah.
So I would say before I used to try to pass those accounts 5 by 5, and I would probably decimate 20 before being able to pass 5. But now,
It's higher.
if I buy 10, I'm for sure gonna pass 5. With my
That's
current
actually
approach.
really interesting, because your win rate is, or your pass rate is above 50%. So if you buy 10, you'll pass 5. But if you buy them and do them 5 at a time, you might blow 10.
You might have, yeah.
Yeah. Well, because there's so much variance, right, in doing them one bullet. That's a really good point. I haven't thought about that actually. If you
It
have
just takes more time.
pass, you may as well buy 100 accounts and do it like one at a time. Then you would do it even trading 20 at a time.
The only thing though is that you need to also have a strategy that is purely adapted to that style, which is you need to have a high frequency of trades, which is not necessarily something that we see a lot in general. Having 1, 2, 3, 4 trades in a day is rare. So the two things that I either do is trading Asia session and New York session to try to pass those evaluations as quick as possible. And
like news drivers and I've seen a lot of people just like
news drivers,
putting like an order like above 10 points or below 10 points, and then using
the
bilateral like stop limits to fill themselves.
The straddle strat.
Yeah, like straddling like a CPI or an FOMC or something like that. I know you can't ever do that on like a funded account or with like your own capital. I don't think any like risk manager or like any prop would allow that. But I'm pretty sure for evaluations for most props, there is no rules about that. I've seen it a lot on
there's no rules.
TikTok. It's like every time there's CPI, there's like a straddle, like a bilateral stop limit order, and you get filled on one side and cancel the other side. And it's like I either blew all my evals or I passed them all in 5 seconds.
I think it's it's good to do that on a smaller scale, really, where let's say, I don't know, you bought 4 growth accounts and or like, I don't know, 2, 3 growth accounts, and you just want to pass it in one day. Maybe that could be the play. I would say the growths for those news drivers are definitely going to be like the ones that you would want to take. Do I do this? Yeah, do I do this? No. And for the reason being that since the CPI is so, I would say, number one, you need to hold your trade for 10 seconds. So it could DLL you easily. Number two, like what happens if the CPI goes wrong? Like what you don't trade? Of course, like you would have a good cost control because you're only passing the accounts, let's say, during CPI. But if CPI does not hit, you want to give yourself
more than one bullet, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. So like I would say it could be a good strat, but like I would say
to what extent? Yeah,
I mean, like just gamble 2 accounts here and there. But for more than that, I would say like you're better off just trading normal.
Do it for the pure dopamine hits.
Yeah. So that's currently what I'm doing. So passing those evaluations one by one, and it's been going great. Of course, sometimes I'll lose the eval on the last day where I only needed like 1,800, and I cannot even lose. Let's say I had $4,500 of drawdown, and I couldn't lose. I needed to win 1,800, and I would lose the account. Sometimes it happens to me on the last day, but overall with that approach, I feel like I am saving so much money. But
100%.
I have it takes me more time within my day, of course, because I am staring at the chart and I'm trading the Asia session.
You have to trade more frequently. You have to trade like multiple accounts.
Yeah, you need to find that frequency. But in general, like if you truly have an edge, I would say it's pretty much the only way to save so much money.
That's a really good idea, actually. I haven't thought about it like that, but even for myself, like I always group them up, but I tend to like trade them like normally. Like I don't oversize to pass the evals. I don't have to go. I don't go through too many evals personally. But what I would say is like there's also just what you said. The truth is you got to play the game properly. Like I really like for lack of a better word, I fucked up. Like I took that trade yesterday on my Tradeify instant funded ones, and I told you that 20% consistency is something I always forget about because I grouped them up with all my other accounts, which are flex accounts.
You kick yourself.
Dude, I made like $1,800 on like $150 risk. I just didn't realize that I'm holding for 10, 12R here more, and now my profit target's 7K, and I'm like, I've completely fucked these accounts, like without even realizing. I risk like $250, $300 per trade in a 50K account, right? And
yeah.
None of my accounts really have consistency, or they do, but it's like 40% if they do, right, with some other firms. And I'm like, I've completely fucked myself here without even realizing. I'm like, like these are gone. Like I'm not gonna make fucking 9K now. Or it's gonna take me a long time. So then immediately after my trade in London, I was like, I'm gonna buy some 50K select accounts as well next week, because I got to size, like I think next week for my multiple on Tradeify, I have to size like 3 to 4x my multiple just to even have a chance of getting them on synced up with my payout cycle for all my other firms. And I'm like, it's gonna be tough. I just completely I completely spaced it, because when you hold these super high RR trades with consistency, there's nothing you can do once that trade hits, because I'm not gonna go there and try and lose money then at the end, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was painful, man, because I realized it. Like I told you I did that, one day as well, where I risked 300 for 4R, and I was like, okay, now my profit target is 6K, and my biggest day is whatever 1,200. I did it again yesterday without even realizing it, making my profit target even higher. And I'm like, these accounts are going phenomenal. They're going great. And then I look at the profit target. I'm like, my profit target's like 9, 10 grand on a 50K. I'm like, it's okay. It just means that because the trail drops, right? So it just means that you can trade these accounts for a longer period of time, manage them like the real equity, I guess. But
yeah. I mean, yeah, you got to be careful on the consistency accounts, man. If you even, let's say the maximum that you could do on a 50Ks, you had 50Ks, right? So
yes.
So the maximum you can do is 20% of your profit target, which is 3,000. So it would be 600. It would be 600 per trades. If you go up by even $1, if you need to make $5 more, your profit target gets increased times 5. So I
went to instant funded because I had a really, really terrible start to August. So I took out my pay. I told you I took out my payouts at the end of July, like literally the last week of July. And then August I came in with probably about $1,200 to $1,500 a drawdown per account, and I lost 5 out of my first 7 trades, I think, of the month. So I just completely lost those accounts through normal variance. And I was like, you know what? Like, I was a bit emotional. I'm like, I want to get back to funded accounts. So I bought like Flex or, evals and everything. But I'm like, on Tradeify, I'm just going to buy some instant funded accounts so I can trade those and my evals. And I just didn't clock that my trading system completely going to come for that. But it happens. It's because I had a really terrible start to the month. I remember just absolutely getting wrecked. Looking for any trades?
Yeah, so for me on this daily chart, we're seeing a pretty strong close. I would want to see if we can expand towards 760 on the daily chart. I would frame that the next candle has more chances of closing bullish than bearish on the daily. So seeing potentially what I would guess would happen would be Asia chops, goes above that high. London potentially forms the high of the day. We flip below the London low, and then during the New York session, we just stay back within this range and top off the weekly range basically on the Friday. So that's what I would want to see. I would want to see us like get back into this gap and at least trade above that daily high before actually reversing as like an easy money trade. But in terms of like what do I see right now, I don't see anything for a scalp even. Like I am not against taking even a short scalp right at the open, but I would say my bigger picture play that I could take and let, let's say, runners would be if we close very strongly above 70 and we're very close to that daily high, it would be a pretty easy catalyst at 8 p.m. to to drive us back up towards that daily high, and then use this high as stops to then run back up towards that daily gap. Do I think we're gonna push past that daily gap? Or we're gonna be on a Friday, so it's
Yeah,
gonna be hard to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that weekly, you see like how that weekly candle is actually operating. It is like, I wouldn't say it's rare, but it is kind of rare to have those kind of full-on reversal candles on the weekly. And when we have those, let's say like the C2 being a reversal, and then you would basically want to see the C3 being an expansion. Like, one thing that I really saw while that candle was fluctuating is the fact that once you start bumping aggressively above the opening price, you tend to revisit the opening price a lot.
Dude,
So like, this is also a big reason why I never try to predict those kind of candles.
You're
So
bang on, by the way. That's exactly how I take reversal candles too. It's like those large, you're describing exactly what I said too. The large wick, bro. It comes back to the open and then has a hard time expanding through that open, right? Really, really good. It's the exact same thing I think as well. I think we'll probably close the range of the week inside of the current range. That daily would be awesome on NASDAQ. But next week, man, I know we said this 2 weeks ago, but next week I'm still looking for my swing trade, bro. I'm gonna tell you when I take my swing trades, I'm gonna do it heavy this time.
I mean, right now, like, the swing trade is probably the easiest swing trade on the weekly ever. If we truly close like this, in my opinion, it would be a very good play to look for 135.
Is I don't like the flat-bodied open of YM on the monthly charts. That's like what some traders call a devil's mark, or it's just a area where we didn't have any manipulation below the open, really. So what I'm thinking potentially is I'm gonna watch and see how next week open, which is the first quarter of next month, and if we open low, I'm gonna wait for YM to take out that previous monthly low. That would form a nice SMT with NASDAQ, and then I really want to get into some options if we do open low next month for all-time highs. But I'm gonna make that play public because it's gonna be my like big swing for the year. Because I'm really bullish on NASDAQ, and I've just been waiting for a good chance to get a swing. I missed the lows, obviously.
Yeah,
I know some people are still holding off the lows, which is like insane. It's a pretty deep retracement. They didn't take any. I know some guy, he like went 20 minis at the low and he hasn't taken a single partial yet. I'm like, you got conviction, bro. You have balls. But I'm really interested to see how the new monthly candle opens, because if we can sweep out that monthly low on YM.
I mean, right now, just looking at the chart in the weekly and the fact that it's gonna close soon, like, here, just take a look at the previous weekly bar. We're still not accepting above 50% of it, and usually that's a very good sign that sellers are still stepping in, and we could see exactly the move back towards the open. I would, even right now on this daily chart, even if I would say like it would be a pretty easy money trade to go for that high on the daily, it wouldn't surprise me if we actually create a failure swing and we actually close here on the weekly. It wouldn't even surprise me at all to see like an aggressive move and close here tomorrow at the weekly candle's opening price. It wouldn't surprise me at all, because we're still, like, if you take a look at the previous weekly range and how it closed, we are still not accepting above 50% of it, which tells me that, for me, I can't really still anticipate that this candle will close in the way that it's currently fluctuating above its opening price. So
no, I think that everyone should also just keep their eye on the daily gap that's going to form. So there is a very high likelihood NASDAQ will form a rather large daily gap on tomorrow's close, Friday. And that is how the low of next week can be made. So realistically, like, the simple approach is wait for a daily gap. We now have an area where the next weekly candle can open low into. And if we do not respect that daily gap, then we are very likely, right, to just continue to trade lower on all assets. And if we do respect that gap, which is going to be quite large, that's what we can set the low of the week from and then trade away from that. That's where a swing would come in, from a daily gap or something like that. So it's pretty interesting for next week. This week was Jackson Hole Symposium. I don't really know much about that, but apparently it just means the whole week chops.
The whole week is chopped.
Whole week has been complete chop fest, so maybe that's what Jackson Hole means.
I agree, Amos. Started doing it individually, have passed so many, all waiting in the wing. Trading multiple at the same time is no bueno. I think that's definitely even like if you're truly thinking. I talked about this yesterday too. I was like, "Yo, guys." Some people are asking me the question of how is the simplest way? What's the simplest way to receive a payout? And I tell them, you take you pass 3 accounts and you trade each of those accounts individually with a low risk to reward strategy, and the likelihood that one of those accounts will be in a winning streak and on the right side of the random distribution on a series of 10 trades is insanely high for you to request that payout. So even like if you're thinking about it in a smaller scale, even with only a $497 initial investment, which is 550K select, if you have a 50% pass rate, let's say you're buying 6. So with a 50% pass rate, with accounts that cost you $580, you can easily turn that into a 3K payout with 2 payouts on individual accounts, which at the end makes you a net profit of around like $2,200. But you still need to make that initial investment in the first place and be like, okay, I cannot see those accounts as being costs. They are investments. So, which is like, I try to do so much work for people to understand this. And, I'm also trying to put, that's what I'm going to do next. But we're planning on doing like professional content with Tradeify, which will include like a masterclass on how to trade props and what are the true numbers behind props, which is crazy to say, but this is what we're cooking in the back end, in terms of technicals, but in terms also of like how do you actually make money with props, really, and what's the best way for you to make sure that you request a payout. And that's coming in very soon with
That's how you know
me and
your prop
Tradeify.
firm. That's how you know your prop firm sustainable is when they actually
Yeah,
big
they're
payouts.
actually giving real education.
Yeah, that's a good sign. Yo, the fact that you get real education on these streams, guys, like I don't know. I think that's like a huge green flag. If I was like learning to trade and I hopped on like a Tradeify stream, or let's just be unbiased, I hopped on any prop firm stream that did real education, had guys like Amaso on here teaching you how to actually make money, like legitimately take payouts. That's a good prop firm, dude. That's a prop firm where you're probably not going to get a situation where you're not going to get like paid out or something like that, because there's no reason for them to bring a guy like this on. Then they wouldn't do it.
Yeah, and also chat. That's also one thing that I talked about when I was giving them like my ideas around stuff. But you can only go so far with technicals. You would think technicals is the most important thing, and most people are switching from strategies to strategies, concepts to concepts, thinking that they're not exactly where they want to be. I'm telling you, understanding this business model is as important as having a good strategy to beat it. It's even, I would say in some cases, more important because it truly plays with your mental, not understanding what you're doing wrong. I think like the overall mistake that people will make is that they will compare themselves to people requesting payouts, and they don't truly understand that those people that request payouts are being extremely aggressive and are being rewarded for being so aggressive. But if you're passive, if you're someone who doesn't trade with high risk for trades, and you're taking it slow, the payouts that you're going to request are going to be every 2 months, 2.5 months, maybe 3 months, if you truly let your edge play out. But if you have like I'm talking about like top-notch risk management, you're not risking more than $200 per trade or $150 per trade on a 50K account. I'm telling you, in terms of pure statistics and pure percentage and R multiple, doing it in before than a month, like below a month, is kind of impossible.
Yeah.
You'd really have to be on an insane winning streak to make more than 10-15 Rs in a month, so in that way, where you understand, you take your strategy and then you're like, okay, let me build something, a business plan that I am gonna maximize the amount of profits that I make with the strategy and this business model. This is really where the game changes. And I would say until I understood this, I never truly saw any success, even after having such a good strategy. I did not switch my strategy since 2024. I have the same strategy since 2024. I swear to God. Of course, I tweaked some
Also,
things.
people just compare, like, it's like a kind of a cliche, but it's very, very true. It's like you cannot compare your day 1 to someone's day 100, day 1,000, day 5,000. Like, I traded, alone, losing money in isolation, just so many years, guys. Like, probably 4 years without making a single dollar. It would be so easy these days to go online if I was, the 2019 version of myself and be like, I just don't get this, and this is not for me, and everyone else is making money. And when I tell you, I spent years just losing money, just day after day, week after week, month after month, and year after year, dude, I would have given up if I didn't eventually realize what Amos said, like right there. Like, you have to go at your own pace. And if you see me making money, you see Amos making money, or you see, people who we look up to are making 100 times more than us. Everyone is on a different level, right, bro? And it just takes time, and you'll just screw yourself over by rushing yourself to get payouts, rushing yourself to trade with bigger size. Yeah, in my opinion, like, social media these days is like peak toxic for that. It's very hard to go online and actually find just education that's not trying to, like, be mass sold to you for some outcome. I do feel like in the trading space, we're so saturated by the idea of, like, big numbers sell and, like, flashy payouts. But like Amos said, we're spending tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands to get those payouts. Your one payout every 3 months could very well be more profitable than the person you're looking up to. You don't even know that, right? So go at your own pace. Once you figure this shit out, man, you'll make all your money. You'll make all your losses back. You really will. It might take you a couple months. It might take you a year, but you will become green in trading once you figure yourself out and figure out your system. And then it's just about scaling it, right? Like, it's the literally, like, the ceiling is infinitely high. Assume you're going to be doing this for, a couple decades, and say you're going to get, 5 to 10% increase in your scale every single year, and that compounds. Maybe by the time, you're in your last 10 years of trading, or maybe your last 5 years of trading, you're going to be risking numbers you never even thought. And that's what I think these days, right? Like, even now, I think, like, what am I going to do in 5 years from now? And you'll realize the money you're chasing right now is so short term compared to what you're sacrificing in the future by not building the right systems now. If you continue to do what you're doing today for another 5 years, you'll be exactly where you are in 5 years, doing the exact same shit. Whereas if you just completely forget about the idea of max payout, max allocation, max size, however much Amos is requesting every week or whatever, if you just completely forget about that, and instead you just say, I want to get a little bit better every single week and every single month of this, in 5 years, you're going to look back and it's just not even going to be comparable, bro. Like, I don't even know who the trader I was 5 years ago compared to now. They're not the same people, right? This industry is really bad at it, man. It's like anything, though. It's like if you told, like, a pro, like, we talk about sports all the time, me and Amos, but, like, it's like if you told, like, a 6-year-old kid shooting, a junior size ball right underneath the hoop that you're never gonna make it, kid. Like, go shoot from the 3-point line, NBA line with a ball. That's consider, like, right now in my trading career, I consider myself to be maybe like the high school kid shooting from the high school 3-point line. And I know that that's where I am right now. I got to keep getting better and better and better so that one day when I lay on $100,000 of risk on one trade, like the pros do, I'm not going to feel anything about it. But if I try and do that today, I'm going to blow my net worth, right? So you just got to keep going day by day.
100%. Well said, man. For sure. I think comparison is a killer for sure. And one thing I'll say every time, I've been in the space for such a long time, so I've seen people come and go. I've seen people being on huge streaks, huge winning streaks, man. I was looking at them, I was like, damn, that guy is probably a wizard. And then see them come all the way back down and disappear, ghosts. What does that mean? It means that this industry has no barriers of entry. Anyone can jump in, get lucky for 6 months, but you don't know what's happening in the back end. You don't know how many accounts he blew. You don't know what happened after. Did he give, what happened after? Did he give all the money back that he made to the markets? Like, what happened? And
I
that's
mean,
really
in
why
our
you can't
space, right?
compare yourself, really,
Yeah, I mean, ask yourself, guys, like in chat, ask yourself, who was really killing it 6 months ago? Now, who was killing it a year ago and who's killing it today? And you'll see that longevity in our space is like a unicorn. It's so rare to see consistency in trading. It is far more ubiquitous to see windfall excellence. And that's why I always doubt it. Personally, because I got scammed by everyone and everything when I first started learning. The reason why I started teaching, guys, like my passion for teaching stems from buying every single course and trying every single approach and just being scammed, like literally just being lied to and taken advantage of and spending tens of thousands of dollars on mentors and courses and just bullshit. And then I look back now and those guys don't even exist anymore. Those Discord don't exist. They don't post anymore. You haven't heard from them. And then you look at the guys who are doing it and it's sustainable and it's not sexy. It's just like they do the same things every single day. They teach their system or they trade their system and they're consistent. And that really doesn't appeal to the new trader, right? You don't go into this and be like, let me go read like the Market Wizards, or let me go like listen to a Tom Hogard, 4-hour talk on risk management and losing, because that's boring. Like it is boring. Like reading Trading in the Zone is boring. Everyone does it and they tell you to do it, but it's boring, right? But then you realize that guys who have longevity in this industry, like Tom Hogard, right? One of the few who actually did it, Mark Douglas, the few who did it consistently, they weren't like flashing, Lamborghinis and $1 million payouts, guys. They were just sitting there like saying what we're saying. It's like, yeah, I kind of just trade the same thing every day. I risk 1%. I focus on being a good loser, and then it's not sexy, and it works though.
It is
right?
boring. It is 100% boring.
It's like everything in life, bro. If something is causing you an extreme amount of variance in your kind of emotional response to it, that variance is designed to get you to do something, right? Like that's why inconsistent returns is why gambling is so popular. In fact, we don't get triggered. Our brains, our limbic systems aren't triggered by rewards we know are coming. So if I tell you that you're going to go to the tap and you're going to turn it and water is going to come out, it is a reward if you're thirsty. Like you're really thirsty, you want a glass of water, you're going to get excited and you're going to get some reward out of that. Now, if I tell you that you're in the desert, you have no water anywhere near you, you're thirsty, and then you see water when you weren't expecting it, your limbic response is 1,000x heightened, right? Because an unexpected reward is so much more dopamine rich than something that was coming. And that is why trading is very, very dangerous. And it's quite akin to gambling, is because trading fundamentally is a game of unexpected or asymmetric reward. And sometimes you click the button thinking like, this is a good setup and I know what I'm going to make. But subconsciously you're thinking, I'm clicking the button just because I don't know what's going to happen. And the chance that it goes into my favor is more exciting than the guaranteed win or guaranteed loss. I don't even care about that. And you guys have all experienced it. You're in your trading, you're in a day where you're tilted, and you just start saying like, fuck it. Like the fuck it mentality comes in and you're no longer even caring about breaking even, being green, being red. You're just clicking the button to feel something, because eventually that limbic system can override all of your rationality and you just want those huge unexpected rewards. And I did that for years, dude. For years, I was the guy being like, oh, it's CPI tomorrow, let me load up on options like the night before. Like just because I didn't have a system that I trusted enough to, and CPI the next day was really exciting to me, right? And goddamn, I never made a single dollar. Bro, the amount of money I lost doing shit like that. I put that into the S&P. I just let it sit.
Yeah, 100%. I think like what were you saying?
No, I'm just reading a comment. It says, how about those guys who sell indicators and have courses? Now, like, I'll be completely transparent. Like, I sell a course, I teach, and I charge people to teach. And I've been doing that since I became, consistently profitable. But I also have a passion for it. And I think that's probably one of the things you should filter out. It's like, does the person who you're learning from have a track record? That's really important. I think that's like a baseline. But at the same time, that's not everything, because not everyone who makes a lot of money trading is a good teacher. And I learned that the hard way, because I would say some of the people I learned from in the industry at first, may have been great traders, but they just didn't give a damn about teaching, right? They were making so much money trading that maybe they just didn't give a shit about if they taught someone how to trade well. So there is a balance. You have to resonate with the person you're learning from. You have to resonate with the approach. And I would fully say, if I didn't even sell anything, I would say that investing in your education is something that's really smart. I have 3 degrees in college, and I can speak for the fact that those degrees, although I don't use them, have helped me think a certain way, and I would not be able to think a certain way without having, paid for that education. So I'm a bit biased for sure, but I definitely do think that there is a space for it. And there also is a time where you have to, sometimes recognize that the person you're learning from, or the mentor, or the indicator, or the whatever the course is not for you. And I think it's a tough question, because me personally, probably a Moss too, we're gonna be biased. But I think when you meet the people and you interact with your mentor or whatever, like, you should be able to tell right away if you're getting, the litmus test, dude. It's like, if it smells like shit, it's probably shit, right? Like, people have bullshit indicators, I think, in their own mind. Like, you'll know if someone's bullshitting you, I think. And if you don't, you'll find out, and then you'll probably get better the next time. Like, I got scammed, a couple times. Like, I paid for a mentorship where the guy literally charged me, and then he just never showed up to anything. Like, he had a telegram back in 2020, and then he just rug pulled the telegram. And I'm telling you, after that moment, I got better at sussing out those guys. Yeah. There's no right answer though. We've all been fucked over by somebody trying to sell us something. So yeah, it's you gotta use your discretion. What's your take on that, Amos? I'm curious, because these days every single person sells something in our space. And there's a lot of really, really good educators. I think I could speak about the guys I know who are amazing traders and educators. I could also easily speak about people who I'm like, yeah, it's obviously a complete fucking scam. What are your opinions on that?
I don't think the fact that you're selling something makes, the content that you give invalid. I think a lot of people are like, oh, okay, that guy's selling something. Immediately, he probably wants to make more from what he sells than what he currently what's the business plan that he's doing, business model. I'll give you an example, like Tom Brady. Mm-hmm. He sells something for athletes, but that, his takes or his advice on football
is good,
are still great, not because he sells something that his voice is not you can't hear him. So
LeBron has $1 billion sponsorship with Nike, and people are always like, well, LeBron is so invested in his businesses, and I'm like, why wouldn't he take the $1 billion sponsorship with Nike? Right? You're right, there's nothing wrong with having multiple income streams, but it's the I think you also could just easily suss out what's legit and what's not, right?
I think, in my opinion, you can trust your gut on a lot of things like that, especially when you're going to buy something. Number one, the characteristic of that person. If I think showing a lifestyle to try to sell something trading related, in my opinion, is going to attract the wrong eyeballs. You're attracting, I would say, the younger generation, that easily impressionable. When there's this quote, and you definitely heard it before, but it is, younger people buy the dream, older people buy security. And it's pretty much to say that if someone is flashing a lifestyle, flashing a lot of, I would say, his cars and stuff to sell his thing, that's probably, I would say, a red flag, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, because obviously, trading content is I think you're so right. I think if you would watch some of my stuff and you didn't have the right expectation of trying to learn something very mechanical, you'd be like, this shit is worse than paint drying. I would rather watch paint dry. But then if I was to go out there and show you what trading has done for me, if I was to come do a day in my life where I take my GT4 RS to the track and then we go to this $10,000 Airbnb, of course that's going to sell. But the reality is that I genuinely, honestly think that the two of those things, in most cases, are fundamentally incomparable. Like, they're not the same thing. You can't go into, like, wanting to learn to trade. Like, for example, when you become a lawyer or a doctor or an engineer, like, I studied engineering, and a lot of people think that, like, oh, you just go to engineering, you learn this thing that everyone tells you to do, and then you get a good job. It's like, dude, engineering sucks. Like, if you're gonna do engineering for 4 to 5 years, you better fucking like that stuff, man. It's not about just like becoming a doctor and then having that bougie TikTok doctor lifestyle. Like, have you seen those, like, I don't know, those TikToks of people like glorifying, like, or like, I don't know, showing the aesthetic of like their like nice doctor jobs or something? I'm like, bro, like, my dad went to med school and he was in school like 18 hours a day with a family. Like, he hated that shit. Yeah, kind of off topic, but it is interesting to always hear, because there's never an answer that you can really give that, like, I think makes everyone happy, right?
I think it's usually I hate to talk about those kind of things. I have takes, and my takes sometimes are hot, and in terms of everything related to what do I think about the space, or what do I think about people selling stuff. And for me, there's not going to be any way, there's no way for you to know if the person in front of you is going to tell you the truth or not. It's pretty much a gamble. The only thing that you can do is validate the information that person gave you on your own, and if it works, then perfect.
I mean, I've seen you talk about that a lot. It's like don't trust what I'm saying to you. Go and like look at a chart. Mm-hmm. Exactly. I really like that approach too. I say the same thing. I'm like, I don't think you should believe anything anyone tells you. Go on a chart and see if that shit really like actually works. And if it does, then okay, then maybe start to trust them 1%. I always believe you should lead with like a huge amount of doubts. Like, I don't know if anything is gonna be true off rip, but then if I go in and like back test it and I can see it, I'm like, okay, maybe there's something there. We got 15 minutes till 8 p.m., bro. What are we saying?
For me currently, definitely looking for potential shorts. We're displacing heavily below the opening price. We're seeing that daily candle opening up lower. Of course, is it a good thing for us to short that, knowing that the daily candle is opening up in the opposite side, knowing that it could be a manipulation? Not necessarily, but the 8 p.m. is such a drastic move where that catalyst will give us at least 20 to 30 points on if we are able to be on side here. So for me, if we hold 600, we break again, I will definitely try to anticipate a short at around the 80s to see the 8 p.m. opening up lower for sure. That's pretty much what I have in mind. I depending on the closure and how confident I am in the open, I will potentially even scale up even more aggressively within that trade. So yes, chat, I am looking for a trade.
See a lot of low resistance on the lows. I like it. The Nasdaq chart is so ugly, bro, on the higher time frame.
See the daily here.
The Ford, like, oh, look at this shit, man.
Yeah.
Okay, that just means we're gonna trend soon.
Hopefully to the upside. That was such that move here from March to June.
So clean, dude.
Yeah.
That's the type of move we want to see again. It's really, really easy to trade those types of trending markets for my system. Just because all you gotta do is wait for those daily gaps, and then you can frame usually clean expansion for like 2 to 3 days, especially when every week is closing at all-time highs. Just wait for a single retracement, new all-time high.
Yeah.
It's hard. I think it is hard though to trade at all-time highs. When we start to consolidate like we are at all-time highs, some of the toughest markets to trade for sure. I think a lot of people would have done so much better just not trading August.
I think everyone I talked to, I did very well in August, and I know I did well because of my style. I know my style is really what gives me that edge of, I know I'm not gonna make a lot, but I know I'm gonna make money pretty much every month if I do stuff right. And within this month here, I think I said that in one of our previous live sessions, but it showed us the importance of knowing how to do both, how to scalp and actually how to day trade, because in those months, if you fail to adapt, man, it's either you take a step back and you're like, okay, those market conditions are not favorable for the way that I trade for my bigger picture plays. Let me not trade, or let me just lower my size so much so it doesn't impact what I did within the previous months, or you scalp. If you're not doing one of those two, you're probably going to give back the money that you made within the previous months in only 1 month, really.
Yes.
So
Yep.
I think it's really important to that also. I always refer to backtesting, but backtesting is so important to me because I saw those kind of things happening in the past. I know Q3 is disgusting in terms of bigger picture plays. Price moves in such a weird way during the first hour of the day. So from 9:30 to 10:30, even after that, it is very hard to trade. It is more of a scalping environment, very range bound. So I saw those kind of things in the past. And even historically in my backtest, my worst months were summer months. So I knew definitely to, you know, to I needed to play defense more than offense in those months.
I completely agree, bro. It's about knowing when you're like we talked about last time. It's like when your model will actually deliver and when you need to recognize that this isn't your market to trade.
Yeah. 100%. Okay, so chat, we are currently at 311 likes. So let's so the first account was 250. Now let's do 350 for the second and 500 for the third. Okay, so 350 likes is the next like goal. And we'll
also,
do.
we have 5 minutes before like the new candle opens, or even a couple minutes. You guys can take a look at my screen quickly. I made this slide for you guys based on last session we had last week, because I got a lot of questions, got a lot of DMs and stuff about what we talked about. So I made a slide for you guys. You guys can look at. You can refer back to this. You can screenshot it if you want. This is kind of what we talked about last time, all in one page. Okay. So I made this for you so you guys can look at this, and everything we talked about is kind of stepwise. The first thing is we talked about how there's two phases of every candle, right? There's this protraction phase, which is just a fancy way of saying manipulation phase. And then there's an expansion phase. The protraction phase, we talked about how it could be a C2 and a C3 candle. So if this higher time frame candle is like a daily candle, then we talked about 4-hour profiles, one candle forming the reversal, another candle forming the expansion. So that's what you're seeing in here. And then we talked about how we are going to use all of the fancy stuff, the cracks and correlation, to qualify our swings. So on this one slide here, you can see anytime we form this true reversal, that just means we have a two-stage crack and correlation. We talked about those today. There's going to be SMT and PSP variants. And again, if you go on my YouTube channel, I have a full lecture on that, but they're all there for you on one schematic. And then if you're trading continuation, this is where the reversal forms, right? This would be like the lower time frame, the intermediate time frame, and the higher time frame. If you look at what this looks like on a lower time frame, you have a reversal with that two-stage crack and correlation. You have expansion away. You create a gap, right? That new candle opens into the gap, and we form a one-stage crack and correlation, whether it's an SMT or a PSP or whatever, and then you get that, expansion again. So if you guys want to take a picture of this, or if you guys want to come back to the video, this is essentially what we talked about last Thursday. If you go back into that stream, I just put it on one slide for you guys, so it's easy to understand. All right, I'll give it back to Amos for the trade.
Currently in a short, chat entered at 95. Definitely very confident in the fact that we're going to see price digging below the 90s within the next few minutes. If not, I'm going to reassess and probably take the pullback after that. But I want to see a move right now, actually not even digging within this gap. Depending on the reaction from 92 here, if we use this low as stops, we should run even lower without pulling back. We could pull back at any moment for sure, but for me, if I don't enter here, it's pretty much, I know the likelihood of me not being picked up, so. Well, let's see here. It's a definitely dangerous area to enter, but that's where I like to get in. We're currently 24-6, trying to make it 25-6, chat.
You're on a
Can we
crazy.
do that tonight?
Can you walk me through the setup one more time?
So here, daily candle opens up lower. Okay, we are breaking very aggressively below this hourly candle's opening price. For me, within the next 5 minutes, we should see price opening up lower.
Into the new APM open.
Yeah.
And what are you targeting?
At this point, it really it will change depending on how much aggression we're seeing.
How much what APM does.
Yeah. That's really the thing, though. Like, I'm so confident in the overall like framework, but the only thing is like the timing is hard, and also the exit could be different, because I could position myself on a pullback, but I could also position myself as a sell stop, in this case. So depending, if it starts pulling back here, I just want to stay alive, knowing that I still have huge chances of winning. Is having a better average, because right now I'm in like so light, I'm pretty much gonna make it.
What's your usual like risk size per trade? Like around 1,000 for 150K?
I would say, yeah, around 1,000, 1,200, yeah, on 150K, yeah.
That makes sense. That's like what, 10% of your drawdown?
No, that's.
Oh no, it's
so the drawdown is 4.5.
Oh, okay, so it's like it's more.
Yeah, I need to enter heavy because I have a low risk reward, so it really does not make any sense.
Drawdown. Yeah, 35%. For some reason, I thought that those counts had like 9K drawdown, but that's the next size.
Yeah, that's basically the profit target.
Yeah, that's the profit target. Yep. So you'll like scale into this position as it opens up. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I pray that I literally want to have my second limit order being tapped in, because if not, pretty much gonna be a baby trade. Yeah, I'm in on the second contract. It is moving.
You're undersized when you're on your entry.
Yeah, very undersized usually on the first entry. That's the thing. So we're seeing the move currently, chat. Let's see where I can take out some profits if it starts moving down. This is 98. The market is not moving like that. I love that rejection currently. It's pretty much amazing at this point. Okay, so I'm in here 3. Let's see now.
Yo, let's go. Mexican dance. 1K payout requested. That's fire, bro. Well done.
So it flipped, guys. My stop loss is here. I'm gonna take out 2 at this low. This should be it. It should move down right now. Oh my god. What a wick.
Wow, that's some crazy volatility.
Come
I don't really look
on.
at APM open like that. That's some crazy volatility.
This is not the flip I wanted to see here. We need to go now or never. It's really AM anticipating to go down now, or it's pretty much going to be a chop, maybe a chop fest. No, we held that 1 minute. Damn.
That
GGs.
1 minute. We'll see.
Yeah, that 1 minute cannot flip at all. So I took the loss on this one. Was still really confident in that play overall, but did not see the target. This is the exact same play that I took for all my record, by the way. So
Yeah,
24-7 originally.
There, bro.
Yeah, because that's the thing though. It's like I move it. I move it depending on my depending on how deep the retracement of the 8 p.m. is, to then basically predict that it's the protected high while it's fluctuating. So it's a very scalpy move, of course. And it's like you need to be fast. Damn. That's tough. So 24/7 chat. GG's. Took the loss on that one. First loss of the week on Asia session. Damn.
You're 24-7, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's like a 78% win rate, 77% win rate. Yeah, that's crazy.
It's still pretty high, I would say. Yeah.
Divided by 31. Yeah, like 77%. Cooking.
Yeah, that's a tough one. But I'll take it to the chin. It's
The losses are part of a losing system, bro. There is no such thing as a win without a loss.
100%. It might, like right here with how deep that pullback is. I'm literally offside right here. My overall take was that we would never bounce above 614 in the first place. So if we don't seed it, then it's over.
Find me a win rate with 100% win rate, and I'll eat my shorts live on Tradeify stream. Yo, you guys gotta hook me up with some merch, bro. I'm also always swagged out. You guys see that? Every stream,
I'm always dripped up, bro.
Yo, maybe after like a couple months at Tradeify, I can get some swag, like a gift.
What do you want? What's the piece that
I feel like a hoodie or crew neck would fit me. I wear hoodies a lot.
Okay.
It's cold, where we are, north.
I agree. I feel like the hoodie is a great pick. Crew neck also, but my favorite currently are the
quarter zips are fire.
Quarter zips. They're the quarter zips.
Quarter zips.
The quarter zips are insane.
Those are clean.
Yeah, they're absolutely good.
I'm just gonna go on Temu and make myself one, and then watch one of these streams one day and be like, "What the hell is this kid wearing?" And then you're just gonna send one over to me. You're like, "Yo, take that off right now."
Damn, it's actually bouncing right now. If it starts dumping here, I will feel some sort of way for sure.
Do you ever re-enter on like a new invalidation?
No.
That's one and done?
Yeah, one and done. One and done. Set and forget.
Yeah.
One trade a day, one model.
That's the best way, bro. The only way you can lose there stochastically is if you just go through some crazy amount of variance, but that's just unlikely. It's all those times where you say you're just gonna take 2, and then you lose 2 and you take 3, and then it's over.
Yeah, the market makers were watching the stream. Yes,
Yo, we didn't hear the cops this time outside.
Bro, last time was crazy. But if we disrespect this 2-minute gap here, I would be very surprised if we just don't go back towards that low here at 91, and even go back towards 71 after. I would say it's pretty much the same exact play, just such a deep retracement within the range. That pop back again here at 801. Killed me.
That's unlucky, honestly. If we get this 5-minute CSD, it looks like much better.
Yeah, that's the thing though. It's like once it reaches a certain point, for me, it's even more likely that we're going to see the opposite side of the range than the actual my actual draw. So in this case, for me, I was just purely offside at the moment I looked for a trade. So even if it ends up going to my target, if I was to repeat this trade over and over again, I would have no edge because it retraced too deep. So for me to survive this, it would be I would need to have a 0.2 risk to reward.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. What's your weekend plans, bro? You got a date plan this weekend?
I feel like you have one, but you're smiling too hard, but you have a date. You have a date plan, bro. Do you?
I got date number 4 planned, bro.
That's why I'm telling you. I know when someone has a date plan, man. When I see one,
this guy knows exactly.
Yeah, I know the type of vibe you're on right now.
Smiling like that, bro. That's
you're smiling. Yeah, you were getting excited just by seeing PSPs on your chart. You usually get excited, but not like that, bro. So
that's true, bro.
I knew you had something going on.
That's true, bro. When the PSPs start singing to me, that's when you know.
So where are you gonna take her?
We're gonna go play tennis. We're gonna go play tennis tomorrow after she finishes work. She's a hostess, and then we're gonna go for dinner after that, and then we're just gonna go grab some mocktails because she doesn't drink, and I'm trying not to drink so much as well.
Okay.
Health max.
What's her nationality? Ethnicity?
She's Ukrainian.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, you told me she was blonde. Yo, you killed me there. Oh, shit.
And then I have to pack up my whole apartment because I'm leaving in 2 days. That's also gonna be my weekend plan.
Yeah, okay. Is she gonna help you do that or no?
Oh no, that's boring.
That could be a cool thing though.
Yeah, I like pack up my apartment.
Yeah.
My cleaner came this week and actually really helped me because I hadn't packed up anything. So she when she cleaned up, she started putting stuff in all my suitcases for me, which is really nice.
Yeah.
She's the homie. She is absolutely the homie. And then moving on Sunday, so that'll be busy. And I got to move into my new place. That'll be even more busy, but it's exciting.
Cool. And would you say you're past that talking stage?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay. All right, bro. Bro already bagged the girl, bro. This GG's. He already has. Yeah, it's. Afiz has too much game.
Not at all, bro. I'll be sitting on my first days talking about asset synchronization, having to shut myself up. I'm like, yo, you see how this is SMT breaking with a strength switch? Yeah, it's actually an ideal sequence. Bro, I'll be pulling out slides. I'm like, yeah, I'm actually look at this Figma slide.
Bro.
Yeah, exactly. There we go.
Bro.
If I ever pull out a Figma slide on a date and the girl is into it, I better marry that girl, bro.
Yeah, bro. I don't think you'll get married then. You're cooked. Shit. Yeah, that shit fried me. Yeah, I don't know. That's the same thing for me, Brad. The last, I'd say the only things that I'm talking about the whole day is candle closures and where I expect the next candle to close. So, I mean,
it's like when someone asks you, your family is like, oh, what stock should I buy? My honest response always is, I have no idea. I haven't bought a stock. I haven't bought a stock in so long, bro. Boy, could I tell you something, but I could not tell you what stock to buy.
Bro, the thing that I hear the most is, yo, can I give you $1,000 and you flip it and we split the profits? Bro, dude. At first it was the meme, but it truly became real.
The number of day ones you think you have, and then you want something niche. Anyone in the chat who's ever made content for anything, I don't care if it's trading or not, you're gonna realize as soon as you start posting content, you'll know who your real friends are, bro. Because your friends ain't gonna like shit. They're not gonna like anything. They're gonna think it's cringe. You know, it takes 5 seconds for someone to like your post, leave a comment, you know, just do anything when you're posting content, right? Like I had for 2 years, I had a YouTube channel and I was on Twitter and I had less than probably 1,000 subs. It was only in the last, 2 years I've gained any sort of following. And nowadays my friends, OGs will be like, yo, tell me what you're up to. Like, this is cool. Like, I watch your YouTube. But back then, like radio silence, bro. So you'll always know who your day ones are because it takes so little effort, man. Like, I don't know, I don't know if you found that as well, Amos. Like your homeboys who like never really supported you when you were very small.
I feel like I've had a different situation though. Like I feel like most of my friends, they supported me.
That's
Yeah.
fine. I'm just
I
joking.
think
I just sound depressing.
no, but I don't know because I don't know what they be saying, in the back, when the windows are closed, or what they would say when I was not as big. But of course, I think overall how I see it in terms of social media, if you're putting in efforts to create a video, edit it, and it looks good, it's something that you look at it and you're like, okay, this is well done. He had a script, the video is clean, it's on a good format, the quality is good, the camera he used, he paid some money for it. I respect that. For me, it's more about throwing in content, not necessarily that people will resonate with in terms of like my friends. No one cares about my videos in general, but they're like, most of my friends, even if they're not even close to me, or we don't talk too much, they're like, yo, your videos are clean, which as soon as they tell me this, I'm like, okay, perfect. I appreciate you because this is the only thing I want from my content, is for it to be crispy, for the rest, it's gonna sound cringe,
my video production, man. Anything that you do that you're passionate about, I think you can just tell. It doesn't matter if someone's like selling cookies or they're day trading or they're an athlete. I respect people who just like have that, like they pursue mastery, bro. They just like, they want something and they go for it. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, 100%.
It's the people who half-ass it. That's when it's like, okay, it's like
that's the thing though. It's like, yeah, I feel like if you really the first thing that you have in mind when you start a YouTube channel or you start an Instagram and you start, I would say, posting on social media, and I think a lot of people who are listening to me right now are thinking about doing something like this, because in this generation, in the current era that we're in, social media is the most powerful thing that you can ever have and utilize to generate money, for sure. Absolutely. And I think if you don't have a personal brand, or if you don't have social media, it could be off of preference, but some people are truly built for those kind of things, that they're not doing it because they're scared of the opinion of others. And the first thing that you got to say to yourself is, like, you should not care about their opinions, because at the end of the day, everyone's gonna hate no matter what, okay, until it starts working. When it starts working, then they're gonna be like, oh damn, like,
dude,
tell me a little bit more about
what you're doing until it works, man. I remember I was working corporate and I was like, back then you don't tell anyone what you're doing on the side, but people like notice you're missing, right? Like they notice you're not like attending as much, or you're a little bit like busy with your time. And eventually people, they don't like that. They don't like the fact that you're doing something else, especially when you work with like a small team like I did. And it's always cringe if someone finds out one of your videos. Like for me, I was in corporate and like I had a YouTube channel, bro, with like 500 subs. So like someone found my YouTube channel with 500 subs and a couple of shitty like here's how I trade market maker models. And then of course it's cringe. It's like, what are you doing, buddy? Like this day trading stuff's a scam. And you just keep your head down, bro. You just keep working, and then it's only cringe until it works. Yeah, for sure, bro.
100%. And even for me right now, like my most viewed videos in terms of on Instagram are the cringiest, and it's weird, but I don't know why, but when the video is like, it's me saying basically the power of three, so accumulation, manipulation, distribution, and just spamming it.
Manipulation, IFVG, distribution.
I've seen those, and those, bro, I've gained probably probably 20,000 followers off of that video.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And like,
I saw some of your YouTube shorts go crazy.
my YouTube shorts are going crazy too.
Your
Yeah.
YouTube shorts were on like my non-trading account. It was on my just regular recommended page. I'm like, yo, that's a loss. Why trading content on my personal YouTube? I'm like, that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, some of my content definitely went very viral, but I think yeah, I think if you're gonna do something, you should not care about the opinion of others.
No.
Everyone is gonna hate no matter what, you know. Even if, let's say, I'm gonna tell you this, even right now in the chat, I am for sure, even if I'm 24-7, even if within the last 31 trades that I took, I won 24.
Yeah,
There's
it's
definitely someone in the chat that was like, haha, you lost, you're a noob. It's for sure gonna happen, and I know it, but
okay. At least they don't call you a nerd, and then your co-host makes the word of the giveaway nerd.
Yeah. One thing with me, bro, is the reason why
that was A1. My Discord trolled me so hard. I'm like, honestly, guys, I pulled out a Figma slide on my first Tradeify stream. I deserved it.
The thing is, bro, the reason why I can call you a nerd is because I consider myself a nerd. You know, if I like,
we both share that.
I am exactly the same. So like, I don't feel any sort of way calling you a nerd because I'm the same. Because I'm a geek.
I like
I'm everything.
It's better to be nerdy than dispassionate. You know what I mean? There's nothing less cool in my mind. I don't know. I never got the whole like have you seen, like, watch NBA?
Yeah.
You know who like SGA is?
Yeah.
Aura farming, like, dude, his team wins the ring. They win the championship back to back.
Not that deep.
In the corner, and he's like, he's like in the corner, like, don't look at me, don't
show emotions, bro.
Like, I don't smile. He's not smile, bro. He won an NBA championship and MVP back to back, and the guy's sitting there, no smile, no heart. Like, he doesn't want to touch any of the trophies, none of the hardware. I'm like, bro, what happened to like people crying when they won, right? Like, I don't know. That lack of passion is so uncool to me. It's like, this guy's like,
yeah, everyone. I swear, I feel the same, 100%.
I'm like, bro, if I'm winning an NBA championship and MVP back to back, I'm going ballistic, bro.
I am taking my shirt off. It's over.
I'm Jason Tatuming, copying everybody.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
I'm copying everybody. Anything is possible. I'm doing.
Who was the guy that did the Reggie's celebration? He was like this.
I think that was Tatum too. I'm pretty sure.
Halliburton.
I think. It was Trae Young. It was the choke in New York. Yeah.
No, was it not Halliburton? Wait, let me see.
Oh, it might have been Halliburton like roasting Trae Young, but he also did that every time he went to New York. You're right, though. Yeah, it was.
It was. I think it was Halliburton doing it, but bro, I laughed so hard when he did that.
That series was tragic, by the way. That Game 7 was tragic. That Pacers game where Halliburton got injured.
Yeah,
that's brutal. I don't know if you guys watch NBA, but people.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so guys, we're gonna start doing the giveaway. So at 500 likes, I'm giving away another. So at 250 was a 50K select. At 350 was for a 100K select. I know I wrote LF, but I quickly deleted that. I did not. I actually just misclicked. But the third is for a 150K select. So make sure to smash the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Also, unfortunately, I took a loss. I was offside within that 8 p.m. open. Only happened 7 times within the last 3 months. So I'm sorry.
Oh, you're washed, bro. Pack it up.
Yeah, pack it up, bro. You have no idea.
Pack it up, bro. How dare you?
Shit. So yeah, let's do the first word here. Give me some inspo, chat. Come on. Let's do.
Yo, let's get to 500 likes, boys. We are so close. 3 more likes. We did PSP last time. That's gonna be creative. We need a new word. Mocktail. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, that one's good.
All right, we got 500. Let's go.
All right, chat. First word. First word, blonde hair, blue eyes.
Oh my god. Listen, bro. This is bad.
Blonde hair, blue eyes. Shit. Yeah, we're taking shot at F's right there. You know, he said he was into blonde girls, so we just had to use it against him, you know, a little bit.
I don't watch what I say, bro.
So congrats, Amir Rezai 6133. Congrats, you won a 50K select account from Tradeify. Make sure to have your email in your YouTube description and also to type in the chat right now so we know you're here. So let's do the second word. Do you want to do the word or you want me to do it?
You do it. I'm always interested to see what you come up with.
Okay.
I always try and pre-fire in my own brain what you're gonna pick. I'm running my own score. Like you're running Asia trades, I'm running my own tally.
Let me think about it.
So I think next stream we're gonna have to do another light goal beyond 500. We're gonna have to do a fourth light goal. 700. $1K likes for a 300K. That'd be elite.
Oh my god. I hope you're muted. That's true.
I'm like hoping I'm muted too, so through my end.
All right, let's do it. Let's run the winner. I don't see it. Okay. Congrats, Plong 9630. Congrats, brother. You won a 100K select account from Tradeify. So we currently have one more account to be given away. So it's the 150K select, but we can do something to give away another account too. So let's do 625 likes. All right, we're 630 on the stream right now. So at 625, we'll do a 150K select. So make sure to like the stream. Also, keep in mind there is the game night tonight. So make sure to be there. A lot of you guys are sleeping on game night. There's hella giveaways there, and there's also my bravas playing games. And like I said, those guys are actually funny in real life, not just in front of the camera. If you saw those guys in real life, you'd actually die laughing. I did not say that last time, but one of the funniest dudes I've ever met is JP. So my brother Fun T, shout out to you, my brother. Let's see here. Okay, let's do the third word. All right. Last word, Tom Brady. I said that once on stream. So we were talking about the fact that even if you sell something, it doesn't take away. Yeah. Even if you're Tom Brady and you sell something, it doesn't take away that you have a skill. I think my chat lagged here. Okay. Dimitri Z, congrats, brother. You won a 150K select account from Tradeify. Make sure to have your email in your YouTube description and also to type in the chat right now so we know you're here. Now, we have 1 minute and 30 seconds left before we call it. Okay. So at 625 likes, I'm doing another 150K select account. So smash the thumbs ups, guys. It is you guys need to lock in. Rare lock-in moment right here. Come on.
It's gonna go down to the buzzer, honestly, because we need like 40 more likes. Yeah.
That's the buzzer right here. Yeah. And
I'm going
yes,
my second YouTube channel and I'm liking it.
Shit.
Go on all your alts, guys. Come on, I know you guys have more than one channel. I know you have that channel you made when you were 5 years old where you posted one video. I know it.
Go on your dad's phone and just click on the like.
Text your brother, text your mom, text your sister.
Quick. 1 minute left. Come on, boys.
Need 15 more boys and girls.
And girls, yeah, there's definitely a lot of sisters watching us also in the chat. Shout out to you guys too. So 625, come on. Can we get it? Can we get it?
Oh my god, we need like 7 more. We gonna get it.
I think we will.
We gonna get it. One more. Oh, we need one. We need one more. I don't know. I have to refresh. Let me refresh. I see 624. Oh, I see 631. Did we hit it on time? Okay,
let's do it. Let's do it. Let me know when the word is ready. All right, the last word. Let's go. You guys clutched. Come on, guys. Good luck. It's for 150K select account. And right after that, yeah, it will be quick. So make sure to type quick because the game night is going to start within the next 15 seconds. So better be ready. All right. Congrats.
All right, guys. See you next week.
Matthew. Congrats, Keith Matthew 2381. Congrats, brother. You won a 150K select account. Guys, appreciate you guys. It is the last day of the Asia session, the stream this week. So make sure to go watch my brothers on game night to have some fun and so actually also win some giveaways. Thank you, FBs, for being there. Thank you, Brent. And I see you guys next week. Peace out, my brothers.